Okay, thought I would build a quick little 2D platformer controller real quick. So I need to be in the 2D realm, obviously. And we want this thing to be affected by gravity. So let's give it a that's probably excessive. I probably don't need that. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to use a rigid body 2D freezing its rotation. And I am going to do two things. I want two states for movement, and I'll explain why in 1 second. Is if we get a horizontal axis, call it X, bring that up maybe, and a float compare, which I'll explain that in a second. So set velocity 2D, and I'm going to put that to none. I'm not going to leave it empty. I want it right to none. Every frame world is fine for this. So just that alone grants us now movement in a pretty good way. Now, unfortunately, we do have a few things that we need to fix. So that's pretty excessive. That's not bad. I think 9 would be a little closer to realistic. That's pretty good. Alright, so simple as that is, the reason why I want two states though is if you take X and every frame and it's equal to 0 with say a 0.1 tolerance, we're going to be in an idle state. And you probably wonder, well, what the hell is the point of that? And very simply put is if you don't have it, then if you're not pushing anything, you're still setting a velocity of 0, right? 0 is still a velocity. And we don't want that. Right, so we get the axes and we do a float compare. Now in here we don't want a velocity, so I'm going to delete that one out, and I'm going to say if we're greater than that, move, and if we're less than that, move. And what that does is we're moving. If I let go, we go into this state. So over here, everything looks normal, right? But that allows for things like, well, first let's put a jump on our player. All right, so let's do, so this is a moving, an idle, and a jump. So if we get key down, and we'll use the space bar, then we're going to go jump. And I'm going to copy that and bring it over here. Right? Ba-doop, ba-doop, just like that. So what do we want to do? I'm very simply just going to use, now if you want velocity on your X when you're in the air, you can bring this down. That's fine. I'm personally going to do it a little different. Is we want a Y, and I want to float, interpolate the X, whatever it may be, to 0, and say over 1 second is probably fine, and store back into the X. Right, now we have a, oh whoops, I didn't give any velocity. All right, and if I go 5, it's not gonna, he's gonna take off like a rocket. Oh, okay, not a rocket, but you know, take off. But now I can't move left and right. So now we would need a landing. So probably easiest just to make another FSM. And the easiest way to do this, I find, is to make 2 empties and put one, you know, roughly there and roughly over here. Now they can be the same Y though. So we got one there, and if you look at the colliders, and ideally you want it just on the outside of the collider, right? So I can probably move this guy out a little bit and this guy out just a smidge. And grounded, I just want to raycast. I'm going to use raycast 2 because I just like it better. And we're going to go in a direction of -Y. And these world distance, we'll have to check all that. So I'll put the debug on. Store did hit. I'm going to call this ground 1. And copy that. Paste it. And we'll go from this guy, only this is ground 2. And you could always do a third one too. Alright, so those rays are obviously a little long. Probably, yeah, 2 is probably good. Even 1.75. And then all I want to do is see if this one has it. Yes. So if any true, if ground 1 or ground 2 is true, then we are grounded. So this guy, we can simply, and if you don't have any of these actions, they're on the ecosystem. So grounded, grounded, and actually we shouldn't put it here. Actually, we should probably put it here because right off the hop, it will be true. So I'm going to put it actually down here, and just put a tiny little weight in here, just to get us off the ground. Nothing too crazy. Maybe 2.5 to a finish. Go here and then use this as our ground check, and once this is true, we've landed. And if you want double jumping, then you just tack it into that second state. Now we might need to extend those down a little bit. 1.25 might be a little light. Yeah, I think it is. False, false, and oh, those aren't supposed to be false. Oh, well, silly me. Here I am using Raycast 2, and we're in 2D. That's just not going to work for us. And go world to, he can be ground, put the debug on, copy him, paste him after, and he can be ground 1. Oh, actually got to change him to ground 2, that one. Alright, so there we go. So now we jump, and we have no air control, but if we jump in the air, we have air control. But if you want air control in the air, you just put it in that state. Just tack it in. Right, and if I come over here, I put a platform thing on this guy, so it's, you know, Mario style. But there is a pretty simple controller so far, and yet works so well. Oh, we gotta test something here. See that how we're hitting there? I might have that out a little too far. Alright, so I should probably bring that in, and this one in. There we go, that's better. But yeah, there's a nice little 2D controller all of a sudden. Bloop. Works pretty good. And if you want things like the double jump, like it's literally just putting it in here and then running another state. Let's see, what can we do? Let's create this guy. Him, yeah, okay. And then let's put a side. So if we take a wall like this, and we call this, you know, maybe we'll put a layer of walls. All right, so going right from our pivot point is going to be fine on this one. So left, let's go world to debug, and store did hit. Copy and paste, and -1, and this one's actually the right, not the left, just like that. And we do want a layer, walls, there we go. Let's test. So those rays aren't nearly long enough. Was 7.75. Could always put 2 empties out there too. Oh. But when we hit it, we should have did we make sure to put that on the... No, we didn't do that because we're silly. Right now it's true. Okay. So let's move that back up there. Make sure he's on the actual layer that we said we were going to put him on. 7.75 and 7.75. So from here, all we got to do is say get key down, and again, maybe we're going to do space again. Let's check left, if true. We have those, and then we'll just do a, might get away with a finish there, we will see. So if we're jumping from a left, we want to go right. So we can just use velocity here, right? And we can go, now maybe go a little less because we're jumping off of a wall. And we're going from the left, we want to go right, so maybe 50. Got a little thing showing us there. And then back to him, only we'll put a little weight in. All right, we're just going to copy this weight and bring it over. For the same reason, we don't want to be able to slam that button numerous times. And same idea with this guy, only now we're going to go the other way, obviously. just like that, right? And if you were to take this guy, oh, that one's too far. There we go. Nice little 2D thing. And then let's show you one more little thing in here. So say you want to limit this, right? And it could be as easy as we jump, right? We hit this guy. And we're just going to set an int value to jump times. And maybe you can jump, you know, twice. So over here, instead of going straight to it, we int compare. Jump times it. If it's greater than 0, it's good. If it's equal, we can't. So if it's good, we go there. If it's can't, go there. Right? And same thing for the other one. Right? We just go there, can't. Now in here, and if you don't have subtract because it's on the ecosystem, it's not normal, just to add a negative. There you go. And I'll put that value actually in here so we can see it. Jump times. So we jump. Right, and then, you know, by code, I mean, maybe you get items or whatever, gain levels, and you can increase it. Don't matter. But there is a little controller that you can do stuff with. All right, we'll talk to you in the next video.